Welcome to the Atlantis Paradise Island Bahamas, where the waters are blue, the pina coladas are just right, and the property's so big that you'll probably get lost and enjoy it. And now, having come back from Paradise, I'm happy to report that I was able to have the base rate for my room every night of my stay for $0.00, and also it required redeeming 0 credit card points or miles to make it happen. And best of all, I now get to teach you all how to do it yourself. So sit on back, get way too comfortable because your next trip to the Bahamas is about to get way more affordable. Let's go. So how did I make this trip happen? First up is step number 0. You want to take care of this before moving on to the next 3 steps, and it's very simple to do. Just sign up for a totally free Caesars Rewards account and a totally free Wyndham Rewards account if you haven't already done so in the past. That way you'll have your accounts with each program as well as your loyalty numbers for each one. Therefore, when you go to match or link your accounts in the next steps, you'll be able to enter them in the text fields. That way they can connect together. Now moving on to step number 1, which is to obtain Wyndham Rewards Platinum status or higher. Step 2 is to then match that to Caesars Rewards Platinum status or higher. And then step 3 is to call the Atlantis Casino VIP services and book your trip. So why are we starting with Wyndham Rewards status? Well, because Wyndham and Caesars have a special partnership that allows you to match your status back and forth and also transfer your rewards points. And it's that Caesars Rewards status that allows you to book this trip as one of your elite benefits. But the reason why we're matching here is to basically shortcut the entire process. So that way with Wyndham, for example, you don't have to go stay 15 nights to hit Platinum or 40 nights to hit Diamond. And same on the Caesars front as well. Rather than having to earn your status by doing all the interactions with their casinos and their resorts and all that and do it the long, drawn-out traditional way, getting status matched pretty much shortcuts all this. Let's further unpack step number 1, getting your Wyndham status. You can do so really easily by applying and getting approved for the Wyndham Rewards Earner Plus card. This has an annual fee of $75 and it gives you automatic Wyndham Rewards Platinum status. Or if you get the Wyndham Rewards Earner Business Card with a $95 annual fee, that one gives you automatic Wyndham Diamond status. No need to satisfy any requirements for nights, stays, points, or dollars spent. Just get the card, keep it open, and your status will automatically be initiated with your Wyndham account. Now you can move on to step number 2, which is to match your Wyndham Rewards status over to Caesars Rewards. And this is a very easy thing to understand because they call their levels the same thing. So Wyndham Platinum matches over to Caesars Platinum, and then Wyndham Diamond will match over to Caesars Diamond. To do this, you want to go to this page right here. The link there is on the bottom of the screen. I'll also put it down below in the description of this video. That way you can simply go click on it and go straight there. Once you get to this page, you then want to scroll down a bit and you'll see several different options. You want to click on the one that says I'm a Wyndham Rewards member and then tap on the Match My Status button. Upon doing so, you'll then be brought to a login screen to enter your username or rewards number with the Caesars program along with your password. On the next step, you'll then provide your Wyndham Rewards number along with your Wyndham status level. So with the drop down there, you'll choose Platinum or Diamond, depending on which one you have at the moment. Select that and then click on the red button that says Request Matching Status. At that point, it's just a simple waiting game for everything to go through and refresh. Also, in case you're waiting and the 2 weeks goes by, maybe even 3 weeks or longer, and your status doesn't update, like the case was for me, I guess it got lost in translation somewhere. If you ever have it take too long and not work, here's what you want to do to resolve that. Just go to WyndhamRewards.com. Here's what the homepage looked like when I took this screenshot, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom where you have the footnote links. Under Member Support, you'll see Help. Click on Help, and then it gives you several categories to choose from. Select Caesars Rewards, and then you'll have all the magic right at your fingertips. You have options to live chat with a representative, to email them, or to call them directly via the phone number. If the phone number that you see leads you to the Blue Member Services Department, which is the lowest status tier in the Wyndham program, it's probably because you're not logged in. So log into your Wyndham account, and that should refresh over to the Diamond Elite level member number. Hopefully you won't have to do any of this because your match should just go through automatically, but if you have a case like I do where it did not go through by default, this is a great source of help. Just tell them that you're trying to do your match and they should be able to resubmit for you, get more info if anything was lost, and just push it all the way through. Once they did that for me, I then finally got my email come through, basically just congratulating me for reaching Diamond, and the subject line of that email was "Congratulations, you've earned it." And here are some screenshots of my accounts via the mobile app along the way. On the far left was my Caesars Rewards account showing the gold level of status that I started with. In the middle is my Wyndham Rewards status showing my diamond level due to the Wyndham Earner business credit card that I got. And then on the far right, once the match went through, I then was able to see the diamond status reflect on my Caesars account. All right, so now that we've covered the status match, you're probably wondering which level of status you should get, and also what do you ultimately get in terms of the package deal for your Atlantis trip. Well, here's all you need to know. Here are all the different levels in the Caesars Rewards program. There are 8 of them total. That link there on the bottom goes to this page. I'll also put that down below in the description as well. That we can just click on it and go right to here. We're going to focus on the platinum level and the diamond level, which are of course achievable via the status match and still give you great options for this trip. At Platinum, there are 2 different sections here for your trips. The first one on the left-hand side is either February, June, August, November, or December. This one is the actual pay-to-play rate. So you have to buy 2 nights at $150 per night, and then you get 2 complimentary nights in the Coral Tower, including room taxes, plus $50 of free slot play. However, if you go during these other 4 months out of the year, namely January, May, September, or October, this is where you get the full complimentary stay. That is 5 nights in the Coral Tower, including room taxes. And if you want to add 2 more nights for a 7-night stay, then you get access to a special casino rate of $100 per night for those additional 2. And $100 of free slot plays included for the casinos. So at Platinum, there are 9 total available months, 4 of which are totally complimentary. But it's the diamond level that unlocks all of the potential here, that it gives you a lot more options. This one covers all 12 months out of the year. Only 3 of them are pay to play. This time you get access to March, April, and July. Similar type of thing here. You buy 2 nights at $200 per night, and then you get 2 free or complimentary nights all in the Coral Tower. However, now the other 9 months out of the year are totally complimentary. There's nothing you have to buy first. So for the February, June, August, November, December months, you can choose from a complimentary 4-night stay in the Coral Tower, inclusive of taxes. Add up to 2 more nights if you want for $125 per night, and $100 of free slot plays included. Alternatively, you can choose to book your trip during the months of January, May, September, or October for a complimentary 5-night stay in the Coral Tower. Again, if you want to add 2 more additional nights, this time the casino rate is a lower $100 per night and $150 of free slot plays included. I know there's a lot to absorb there with all the different rates and what one's free versus not and all the different months. So here are both of them side by side. It's probably a bit small on your screen if you're on mobile, so feel free to pause this and zoom in to go back and forth and see the differences between Platinum and Diamond. Since I did the Diamond level match and decided to go in the month of August, I booked the complimentary 4-night stay. And to make that booking a reality, you then move on to step 3, which is simply to call and book your trip. The number is right here on the screen for the Atlantis Casino VIP services. Just call them, wait for an agent, and they'll be able to assist you with the whole process. I do have a little side note for you all though. If this is your first time ever doing this with a brand new elite status level with Caesars, you may have to do a couple different calls, which was my case as I did this for the first time. So if that is your case as well, the first phone call, you'll speak with an agent and they may ask you a few questions like how many adults will be on the trip, the physical address where you live, your phone number, your date of birth, and your email address. You'll provide them with the information to then enter into their system, and then it will take about 48 hours or so for everything to refresh to then move on to the next call. So give it a couple days, and then when you pick up the phone to call again, this time you'll get an agent, provide them with your desired dates of the trip, get your confirmation number, and then you'll receive your confirmation email probably one day after that, and then you're fully done. In case you have to go through the 2-call setup like I did, the reason for it is because Atlantis Paradise Island Bahamas is actually not operated by Caesars Rewards, and in fact operates its own terms and conditions. So even if you're a Caesars Rewards member, as you had to be for your status match, because this is operated separately, it takes some time for those systems to all link up together through this partnership that they all have to make sure your profile is set up for the first time. Once it is though, you'll get your confirmation via email. Here's what it looks like coming through on my end. It just says your name with your confirmation number, the dates, the check-in and check-out times, all that good stuff. And then if you scroll down a bit further, you will see the glorious room rate that you're going to pay here, which is $0 for all nights of your stay. And in case you're wondering what that room rate would have cost me if I just paid cash for the same room type on the same dates of my trip, I actually took a screenshot of that. It would have been $346.87 per night. I'd rather take 0. Pretty good deal. And that's all there is to it. Again, for a summary so far here, all we did was start with Wyndham, Platinum, or Diamond status, matched over to Caesars, and then called in to book the trip. But I realize some of you might have some more questions about more overall cost. Even though the base rate of the room was 0, there are still things like resort fees, gratuities, and other stuff you might want to do on the island itself, plus some Q&As too. So let's cover all of that if you want to stick with me a bit longer for a broader, more complete picture of this overall trip. Going a level deeper here with the costs, at least when I went as of August 2023, you still have to pay resort fees and gratuities, which are mandatory here. For the resort fee, which includes the tax, by the way, it was $64.90 per day, and the gratuity was $10 per day. So my daily cost was $74.90. Rounded off to $75 per day. Now it could vary a tiny bit here due to the gratuities. So it's going to be up to $5 of gratuities per person per day in standard rooms. And since I booked a standard room for both myself and my brother, 2 people, $5 times 2 people, for me was $10 per day. They actually lay it out really nicely on your folio or bill at the end of your trip. So here's a screenshot of part of mine, and you can see there for the line items, Coral gratuity, $10, and then the resort fee, Coral Towers, $59, plus $5.90 for the VAT value added tax for the $64.90 total. Nobody likes paying resort fees, but in terms of what it gets you, here's a screenshot directly from the Atlantis/Caesars website. So again, pause this if you want to read all those bullet points and see what's included. Moving on now with some additional costs that may or may not apply to you. If you have additional guests beyond the 2 that are allowed with your trip, so if you have 3 or more people, again, you're in the Coral Tower here, so additional guests that are 12 years of age and over will result in a $50 per person per night charge with a maximum room capacity of 4 adults and 1 child under the age of 4. Also about the transportation from the airport, I took a taxi. It was $60 one way before tips. That was optional. I decided to include a nice tip. And here's actually the business card of my driver. Her name was Cassandra. Super fantastic woman, very professional, very friendly, knows the area very well. She's been there for many years. So if you're going to the Atlantis or anywhere in the Bahamas area, I highly recommend giving her a call. You've got her numbers there, her email as well. Let her know the dates you're going to be there and that you would like transportation from the airport to the hotel, and even the other way around too for round trip. Now, what about the food and beverage? Well, that will vary dramatically based on how many people are with you and where you decide to eat. There are grab and go fast food options all the way up to, top tier fine dining. So to give you an idea of some simple types of things that were on my overall bill, Shake Shack was $25.88 for 1 burger and 1 shake. I also went to Starbucks for a couple things for breakfast in the morning, Pisces for a chicken Caesar wrap, Beach Bites for a couple beers including tips, and then the Mayan Temple cart for the cocktails there, 2 of those plus tips. So feel free to kind of get an idea that this is not an inexpensive place compared to other areas you might have in mind, but it's also not crazy over the top. I believe the buffet was also around $55 to $60 per person as well. but those are also all you can eat. And we can't forget about the flight unless you already live in the Bahamas. So this again will vary dramatically based on if you live on the East Coast, West Coast, where you're coming from can make a huge difference. Also time of the year and just crazy wild airline pricing. But what I recommend and what I did is I decided to use credit card rewards and points to pay for most of it. So what I suggest is to search Google Flights for the best routes, choose an airline that works for you and the timing and all that. Also earn points and miles from a credit card that makes sense for that airline that you're going to use. Redeem those rewards, and then you can only have to pay the fees and taxes out of pocket. I flew American Airlines and the all-in cost here was 34,000 miles plus $122.25. And that, by the way, was round trip. So again, that can vary as well, award pricing, but it can be extremely affordable if you decide to apply some credit card rewards to reduce your out-of-pocket cash cost. If you've ever seen those credit card welcome offers where you spend a certain amount of money on the card in a certain time frame and then you get a big bonus like tens of thousands of miles, that can be a great way to help fund this trip very quickly, of course, while being financially responsible along the way. And finally, for those of you who are still sticking around with me here, I've got a Q&A session of some questions that I had before booking my own trip that were driving me crazy. So I spoke with some agents on the phone and got all of these answered for you directly from the source. So the first question here is on the Caesars website, it says Diamond and above can enjoy one complimentary stay per year. Does this mean gold and platinum packages can only be booked one time forever? What I'm referring to here is this screenshot that I took directly from the Caesars Rewards website. You can freeze this if you want to read the whole thing, but it shows that only Diamond and above get this one complimentary stay. So the agent told me that no, all levels can book one complimentary stay per year. But what does year mean? Question number 2. Does per year mean calendar year, Caesars Rewards year, or 12 months from your last trip? Per year means Caesars Rewards year, which runs from February 1st to January 31st of the following year. So if you did a trip in October 2023, for example, you could do another trip as early as February 2024. Question 3. On the Caesars website, gold and platinum packages do not show tier credit requirements. However, Diamond and above do show tier credit requirements, for example, 15K, 25K, etc. Does this mean packages for Diamond and above require satisfying both status and tier credits? What I'm referring to here, by the way, again, here's another screenshot, is on the website, it shows for Diamond all the way through 7 stars, the tier requirements right next to the level of status, whereas for gold and platinum, it does not. Answer: no. As long as your status shows the required level, you can book the trip regardless of how many tier credits have been earned. At least that's the case right now in 2023. And I'm proof that it works because, again, here's my screenshot from my Caesars account showing the Diamond level status, and 0 tier credits have been earned, and I went on the trip. Question 4. What are the check-in and check-out times? Taking this directly from the website, the check-in time is 4 p.m. for the Coral Tower that you're eligible for, and the checkout time is 11 a.m. also at the Coral. Question number 5, can I cancel or change my itinerary? Yes, you can. Obviously, there's a lot of text here on the screen. Feel free to pause it and read it all if you like. The main takeaway is that if you need to cancel or change, make sure you do so at least 7 days prior to your arrival. In case you do have to do this, here are the phone numbers directly from the website that you can call to get an agent on the phone and have them be able to make any required changes to your itinerary. And finally, question number 6, can I use the amenities across the different Atlantis hotels? And the answer is yes, with one exception being the Cove. And wrapping everything up together into one simple summary, here you go. I also added one pro tip there on the bottom. That is, while you're there, be sure to use a credit card that has no foreign transaction fees, because this is an international destination. And so if you want to, pass on the 2.7 to 3% or whatever, get the right credit card to use over there to avoid that. And with all that said, if you enjoyed today's video and believe it could benefit other people, then please help me get it in front of them by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on those notifications. Also, check out the links down below in the description area to earn some more cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, and to view my site with some great credit card offers that I've organized into different categories to help you find the cards that you like best. I thank you all for watching today's video. Hope it brought you some great value to make your next trip to Atlantis a whole lot less expensive. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and while you're waiting for it to be uploaded to this channel, always remember that you are great. Now go get yourself on island time and make this trip a reality.